Stonington area is where we are actually seeing some of that rotation. Now, when I switch this over, you can see it on radar. It's pretty clear there. Take a look at these red and greens right here. This is the rotation south and east of Stonington. So if you're kind of looking down the line here, we're talking about possibly towards Moweaqua. It's going to head towards US 51 here. It will cross 51 in the next 15 minutes or so, 15 to 20 minutes. So if you are in southern portions of Macon County, you need to be taking shelter. If you're in the northeastern portions of Christian County and also the northwest part of Shelby County here, that is definitely a storm that has really intensified just within the past kind of 10 minutes or so. And we have our storm tracker out there as well. Jack Griffin is in our S&K Exterior Storm Tracker, and he's keeping an eye on the storms there. He's driving right into this, and we've been watching his feed here, and he's got a lot of lightning and heavy rainfall, and you can see that there on your screen. That's his live image from the Storm Tracker. So he is moving along with that storm, probably traveling down Highway 48 there from the Decatur area. And so this storm here, so it's going to be in some more rural portions there of Christian County. We're talking just to the west of Prairieton. That's definitely where that rotation is showing up. It's going to be southwest of Moweaqua, but it's racing off here to the north and east. It is a tornado warning that is in effect until 10:30 p.m. 55 mile per hour movement to the northeast. You can see the lightning on Jack's live view from the storm tracker there as well. Well, we're going to showing you as well is going to be our camera from Decatur. That's going to allow us to see the view of the storm as it comes. We're going to position that here in a little bit, and we'll have that up. But this storm is going to be coming into southern portions of Macon County here very shortly, right there on the Macon, Shelby, and Christian County line. Right here, that's the rotation that we're looking at. Right here where these reds and greens are going to coming right next to one another. And so there's Blue Mound up here. Now Decatur is up here, of course, on 51 there to the north. But this right through here, right through the center of this polygon of the tornado warned storm here, that's where we've got the highest probability for a tornado to form. Again, as I mentioned, we were kind of watching this on radar here, and we're seeing some pretty good indications of this possibly forming. It is going to be what we consider rain wrapped. You're probably not going to be able to see, that big visible funnel, and obviously you can't see that at nighttime. It's dark out there, very difficult to see any of that. The lightning sometimes for a brief second will give you a brief glimpse into what the sky may look like, but it'll be tough to see because there's a lot of heavy rainfall wrapping around this, and that's what we're kind of seeing here on radar. Again, this thing is really cooking. It is moving. It is now, the latest radar scan on this now puts this right there close to the Macon County line now. It is super close. So there it is, just west of Moweaqua and the Prairieton area. That right there, see those brighter greens and then these reds right here? This thing is going to literally be crossing the county line in the next minute or so, as fast as this thing is moving at 55 miles per hour. We're going to be checking in with Jack here in a little bit and get kind of his location, where he's at and what he is seeing. And Jacob, you've got the Decatur camera pulled up there, and we're obviously going to be looking to the south there to see what we can see. This may be difficult because of how much rain, but these storms are prolific lightning producers, that's for sure, so that potentially could help us be able to try to see something there. But if you are right there in southern Macon County, definitely need to be taking shelter, right?
Yeah, that's right. We're talking about southern Macon County, northeastern Christian County, and then northern Shelby County. Does not include downtown Decatur, points to the north where our camera is. Does not include Shelbyville. Does not include Taylorville either. We're going to talk a little more about those specific locations. Let's take a look here in Decatur. There's not a lot of lightning. It's not a great view. It is nighttime. Hard to see that. We get Jack out in the field. We've got our teams that are out watching the storms tonight. This storm, though, firmly in the warm sector south of the warm front. And that means that it's taking advantage of quite a good deal of energy there. So we're going to watch that. Let's go to radar, though. The main storm right now that we have for the one warning now for areas just to the south of Decatur. I will mention there's some spotty showers. We've been looking also at where the warm front is sitting. Decatur is in the warm front. They're in the upper 60s, low 70s. Monticello in the 50s. Champaign is in the 50s and 60s too. This storm riding that warm front. In fact, it looks like we just maybe had a good flash in the Decatur camera. So we'll want to keep our eyes on that as we move on through here. Let's talk real quick about this specific storm. Taylorville, it's off to the east. It's east of Stonington, now crossing US 51. You've got Assumption, Moweaqua, Macon, south side of Decatur. Elwyn is there. Here's Moody. Downtown Decatur, the city of Decatur, right now not in this warning. This will likely stay south and east of Lake Decatur if it moves in that general direction. So that would be Mount Zion downstream, and we carry off to the east. This may be a southern Piatt County, northwestern Moultrie County issue further downstream. We'll give you a first heads up there. I do want to mention there are other storms in southern Illinois. What a night it has been down there. Strong and violent tornadoes in southwest Illinois. West of Carbondale, there's been some significant damage. We also now have north of Mount Vernon, that'd be near Salem, a confirmed tornado. And we're watching another tornadic storm southwest of Vandalia. These storms may become problems for places like Effingham County, Clark, Jasper, Cumberland counties, and areas along Interstate 70. So we will be watching these very closely here over the next little bit. Let's take another look at radar here. And Kevin, whenever you're ready, you can I can toss back to you. But I want to look at as many ways as we can here at where the storm is and what it looks like. Here's Radar Scope. It's a great tool. You can download it. It costs $10 a year for the basic plan. Macon and Moweaqua, the storm now firmly overhead there. And as we look at that velocity, Kevin, you kind of pick it up that there's some circulation right in there. So let me reset that here.
Right there coming into Macon. This thing is moving really quick here. 55, 60 mile an hour movement there. All right, Jacob, if we can, we do have Jack now.
Okay, perfect.
And Jack, we are seeing your images. If you can hear us, Jack, through the heavy rainfall there and the bright lightning, can you tell us your location and kind of what you're encountering?
So I'm heading towards Moweaqua right now. I was in Decatur. I'd been parked in Decatur for probably like an hour and a half, to be honest, in two different locations. And all of a sudden, I even texted you guys being like, I don't know what's going to happen. It looks like everything's kind of not taking off. And then I saw one radar scan. Ooh, got some little debris here, little sticks. I had one radar scan of the storms that went in the Taylorville area, and I was like, all right, I'm going to go to that one. And as I was driving between Taylorville, and there's some other little branches down here too, as I was driving, I kind of noticed what I thought was maybe a power flash, to be honest. I had...
Yeah, so Jack's there. Obviously, he's driving through the middle of a tornado-warned storm right now, so we're going to have some issues there with the signal there. But his location there, he was heading right there towards Moweaqua, so he is down there right in that area. So we've got Macon right here, Moweaqua. We were just informed as well that the sirens are going off in the southwest and southeastern portions of the city of Decatur. They are sounding those sirens, but the immediate area of concern is Macon right now. But I got to tell you, as quick as this storm is moving, they may have to issue an additional warning if this thing holds together. Now, Jacob was mentioning how this is along the warm front. That's a key thing here because you can maximize some of the rotation right along that warm front. But when the storm passes north of the front, a lot of times you lose that. So trying to delineate exactly where that is, we were looking at some of the surface observations, and it was actually showing that the south side of Decatur was almost 70 degrees, and then you get on the north side of town and it was still about 60. So again, a huge difference there in what you could see. So they just kind of trimmed the warning back just a little bit there because this thing is racing off here to the northeast. Tornado warning still in effect here until 10:30 p.m. There it is now. Literally, it'd be kind of going through Macon here right now. So that is going to be the area of concern right over Macon. Down the line, I know you're not in the warning, but the Mount Zion area, you're going to want to look out there, Mount Zion to Dalton City, in between there. That is going to be the location that we're going to be keeping a close eye on. And so again, Jack is out there. He's good. I see his signal kind of coming in and out because of, again, the kind of the rural area that he's at, and the fact that he's driving through really heavy rainfall. He was mentioning as he was driving in that location, he saw a lot of little small branches and a little bit of debris and on his road as he was driving there. So again, we're on the air right now because a tornado warning is currently in effect for portions of Macon County here. The highest threat is going to be right over Macon, the city of Macon, as that rotation continues to show up there right on 51. So this thing is literally crossing. So here's 51 right here. You can kind of see, I'm going to zoom back in just a little bit on this and show you the exact location. So there's 51. You can see the Andrews Street roads, 51 right there into Macon.
That takes you to Dalton City.
Yeah, it takes you right to Dalton City there, off there to the east. And so that is what we're going to be watching in. And this thing was just issued about 10 minutes ago, and it's going to be out of the warned Polygon box possibly in the next 5 minutes because of how fast this thing is moving. Their last movement was about 50 miles per hour. You can see definitely some really heavy rainfall there and maybe some hail up near the Booty area in Elwyn as you get there between 48 and 51. And so that location there is the highest level of concern that we've got. I've got Jack's camera view that's up there once again, and we can see, I can just see all the leaves, and you're going to see a ton of leaves. And wow, the lightning that we're seeing on his camera view there is pretty good too. Maybe just before we head to Jacob, if Jack is back with us again, Jack, your location and what you're kind of seeing there again, besides, I mean, I see all kinds of leaves and little limbs down.
Yeah, I'm now into Moequa right now, and actually while you were talking, probably again in and out of signal, there was actually a tree that was on the road that was covering up about 50% of my lane. So there have been a number of little tree branches and other sticks that are coming down from these gusty winds. So now I'm in the city of Moequa proper, and sorry, my GPS was going there. But
good.
I was saying earlier was that we had what I saw was probably a power flash as I was driving towards Taylorville, and then all of a sudden, pull off here. There was
and the
tornado warning popped up.
Okay, it looks like emergency personnel just passed you there. It looks like.
Yeah, it was just a pickup truck. It didn't look to be. It wasn't an ambulance or anything like that.
Volunteer fire or something.
It was going the other direction. Yeah. Yeah. So there's definitely some gusty winds with this, just based on the amount of little sticks and debris that I had seen on my drive, essentially from the Stonington area to now Moequa. And like I said, I believe I saw a power flash as I was heading towards the Stonington area, probably looking, didn't touch down, and that's what prompted the warning. Obviously, we've got it as radar indicated, but
Gotcha.
there may have been something, guys.
Okay, very good. So I just want to stress to people, and we'll check back in with Jack as he kind of maneuvers around. Moequa, while he is there, the threat for Moequa is over. The actual tornadic part of that storm is now to your north and east. So the threat for you with that has diminished, but now you're talking about areas close to Mount Zion now, and they're east of Macon. So if you're there, you need to take shelter there. And Jacob, you've got more on what people can do as this warning, the sirens are going off, maybe you already went to bed and now you're awake. What can people do?
Yeah, we're going to keep our eyes on those cameras to your screen on the right, my left right here. So we're looking at this Jack in the Storm tracker. We're also watching the Decatur. The area of the tornado warning. Proceed to your safe place. No mobile homes, no manufactured homes. If you're driving, we encourage you to stop at the nearest convenience store. If you're close to home, hurry home and get there. You go inside as quick as you can. Vehicles a dangerous place to be. In, down, and up. Inside, most interior room, down, away, down as low as you can. Basement, cross crawl space, getting down into a bathtub, even in an interior bathroom, covering up blankets, pillow, mattress, and even a bicycle helmet. That's another great thing to have. If you woke the kids up, give them a bicycle helmet, say, hey, we're going to have a little fun tonight, and hang out in the pillow fort to shelter, and you make a little more fun out of it for them to help relieve some stress. We will give you the all clear. Areas west of US 51, west of Moweaqua, we can give the all clear now. We're still watching that tornado warning for a little while longer. We will keep here until we're all clear everywhere, and that may not happen for a couple of hours. It may happen quicker with this individual storm, though. We are streaming right now on our WCIA3 app. We are streaming on Facebook and Twitter, and on our website. And of course, we're on CBS right now here. So those are some important things. Downstream, we'll talk more about that in a minute. Worst place to be, no cars, no mobile homes, no manufactured homes, no driving south and southeast of Decatur towards Dalton City. Even open span rooms or manufactured homes are not good. Interior room or a basement of a well-built building and a tornado shelter or safe room are the best places to be. We're going to talk downstream. Dalton City, northwestern Moultrie County, southern Piatt County. They'll probably be south of Bemet, maybe in the direction of Atwood-Hammond at some point if there is a new warning. This is what we'd encourage you to do. You got a little time here downstream. These storms are moving quick. Leave your mobile homes and be prepared to seek shelter. If you're in a mobile home, you might think about heading to a friend's house or a relative's house downstream for this. We'll show you the map in a second. Make sure your phone's charged, arrange your safe place, find your flashlight, and check your WCIA3 app for more info. We continue to talk about the tornadoes now. I do want to mention, Kevin, some of the damage we've seen. This is from Jacksonville. South side of Jacksonville got hit by what was at least strong winds. We don't know what it was or what type it was. There's some indication it may have been straight line winds or at least rear flank downdraft winds associated with a rotating mesocyclone storm. And so we see some of that damage there. Other areas have reported it, but at this point, the warning now still there for Macon and the storm now carrying to the edge of that. Next in line, Mount Zion, Dalton City. Doesn't look like we have an extension of the warning yet. We're kind of on the edge of that polygon where eventually they make a decision whether they drop the original one or they add a new one. So we will watch, but I want to mention just downstream. That'll be Dalton City, Mount Zion. You've got Long Creek. Here's where the Decatur Airport is. Cerro Gordo is there to the north. And I'll pull my phone so I can edit some of these things here. Even downstream, here's Hammond. This is US 36. You take that to the east, and that'll take you towards Tuscola. Cerro Gordo is here. Bemet is right there. This is southern Piatt County, northern Moultrie County, southeastern Macon County, right here where the storm is, and getting ready to cross, I think that's 121 between Mount Zion and Dalton City. If you look closely in the reds, good lightning on the shots there, of course, and we like to have as many looks and as many eyes as we can. There almost is a little bit of an S shape here, and that's a sign that maybe there's some rotation there. And as I flip over to the velocity here, it'll update in a second once we get that new one. That circulation maybe still a little broad, but still obvious at this point. A couple of miles south of Mount Zion, moving pretty quickly to the north and east. So we'll find out pretty quickly what the decision is on warnings, Kevin. Yeah. This is our only warning. Again, as I zoom out, I do want to mention really fast the storms to the south. We are watching for Effingham, Vandalia, and places like that. It does look like there's a new severe thunderstorm warning that will include Fayette County, Vandalia to the north and east, an extension of that tornado warning from Bond County. We'll watch all of that. And then, of course, Kevin, this storm here, starting to see a lot more storms erupt from Taylorville towards Litchfield, Nokomis, down to the south and west towards Carlinville. We will watch them all very closely here. Let's real quick, Kevin, if you're ready for me, I can toss it back to you, or I can check in Champaign County. For the most part, we're north of the front here. So we're going to watch that and keep an eye on it. We're not forgetting about you. We'll talk about the areas that are seeing the warnings the most, and that's right now Macon, Piatt, and parts of Shelby County. Kevin?
So the tornado warning here, we were talking about it here, the actual storm, is now out. And it looks like they just allowed that to go. The tornado warning, Macon and Shelby County here, they've just allowed that to go. So we've got the one warning that we're watching is now under for Fayette County, so the Vandalia area, you under a severe thunderstorm warning there, and we're going to watch that as that eventually comes into Effingham County. Now these storms down here have been prolific tornado producers south of our area, so we're going to have to watch that. So That's the good news. The brief, report there that we had, possibly some power flashes there. Jack was talking about seeing some of the, some tree limbs down and whatnot. But that tornado warning is no longer in effect. Okay, so we've got the newscast coming up here at 10:30 that we're going to have more on some of the damage and whatnot, and talk about what to expect for the rest of tonight. But because that tornado warning is expired, that is our policy. Tornado warning is on, issued. We cut in. We do our coverage. Once the tornado warning has expired or has been canceled, we go back to regular programming. But we continue our coverage online. Go to our weather or news app, our social media pages. We're streaming on there. There's still a lot of you that are dealing with storms right now and want to know what's going on. So we're going to continue our coverages on there. So I encourage you to switch over to that. And we're going to be on there. And of course, all back on the news here in about 10 minutes or so, because that tornado watch, you can see behind Jacob there, goes until 1 a.m. Okay, we're going to have much more on the live stream. Switch over there. And if any other warnings are issued, of course, we will cut in. We hope to see you tonight on the news at 10:30. For now, I'm Chief Meteorologist Kevin Leidy, meteorologist Jacob Dickey here, and Jack Griffin out in the storm tracker. We'll have much more coming up, so stay tuned. All right, we are back on the stream here.
Just do camera one full.
Thanks for sticking around here with us. All right, again, those of you that were watching on TV there, now just on our social media and our apps right now. But we want to continue talking about the storms here because, man, I tell you, we just got another good little storm here just outside the studio, and it's coming down outside. I'm just going to come back into Champaign because here's the thing. I know a lot of you, now you're up, okay, and you're wondering what's going on here. So you can see that's a pretty intense storm over Champaign. It's north of the front, an area that is not as favorable for tornadoes, but you're going to have a lot of heavy rainfall, and you're going to have the lightning with this as well. That's the switch on the lightning, and you can see, look at all the lightning strikes that are showing up with that cell, with our other cells here back into Piatt County, and then the cell that was once tornado warned here into Macon County over the airport there. Definitely seeing some intense lightning with this. So heavy rainfall, and that's the thing. We have seen a lot of rain. That's going to continue to cause some issues out here tonight. So we've got to really kind of keep an eye on things. Additional storms there southeast of Farmer City and west of Fisher, right there south of Gibson City. So there's just a myriad of little cells that are kind of popping up here right now. Right now, the only warnings that we've got are way down here on the south end of things. Okay, we're talking down here into Fayette County. They had a tornado warning down there into Bond and Clinton County. That's with this here. The Weather Service opted to take it to a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag for Fayette County. That, again, is just right on the kind of southern edge of our coverage area there. But that is kind of what we're looking at. So several storms, and let's kind of put a little bit of a loop on this for you. We'll show you what it looks like over the past, 30 minutes or so. And you can see how our storm here, these guys have really exploded. These are exploding even more. Nothing severe at the moment with those, but we're going to have to all of those very close because we're just kind of seeing a little bit of an enhancement here of some of these storms. What's happening is something called the low-level jet kicks in. It's another form of basically some winds here that occur at nighttime, and they kick in at nighttime, and it can sometimes enhance some thunderstorm development, and I think that is starting to happen as the low-level jet kicks in a little bit, and we get some of these storms to kind of fire. So there is still going to be a little window of opportunity here over the next hour or two. We're going to watch things carefully just in case, but we're going to definitely keep an eye on these storms here on the south side of our viewing area. And that's potentially going to hit Effingham County, Jasper, Crawford counties. We'll keep a close eye on those for you guys down there as this all moves off here to the north and east. So we've got our newscast that's coming up here in about 5 minutes. Are you guys hitting right at 10:30? Do you know, is it
10:29 something?
10:29? Okay, yeah. So the newscast is coming up here in about 5 minutes. Again, I know a ton of you are watching from various parts of Central Illinois. We got over 800 of you watching on the stream right now. And so I know there's a good chance you probably got some storms in your neck of the woods here. Right now, nothing is severe, okay? But they're kind of bordering on the edge of that. You've got maybe some 50-mile-an-hour winds. You might have some pea-sized hail in some of these storms, and you're probably going to have some gusty winds and the very heavy rainfall and that lightning showing up there as well. So if you are in, let's see here, from Monticello, eventually Whiteheath, Seymour, it's going to get a little noisy there coming into the south side of town in Champaign and Tolono, Willard Airport. All of these little individual cells kind of moving off here to the north and east. The storm that we had that once was tornado warned is now moving out. Going to be pushing out of Macon County here before too long, heading into Piatt, Moultrie County. So Dalton City there's Cerro Gordo. All of those areas seeing the really heavy rainfall with this. So again, we're just a couple of minutes away here from the start of our newscast here at 10:30. We're going to be talking about some of the damage we've seen in other parts of the state here from tonight. Reports in the Jacksonville area of some damage there as storms came through. And we got a few pictures of that. So we're going to be sharing those with you again here at 10:30. If you have any damage reports, we are keeping an eye on the chat over here. So let us know possibly what you've seen in your area, and we can gather those reports as well. But right now, no warnings in effect. Let's see here, except for the Fayette County warning that we've got. We'll watch that and then see if that carries back over into Effingham County there. But Jacob, about ready to...
Just want to do some housekeeping real quick. Are we planning on keeping the stream through the newscast? What's our thoughts on that? And
yeah, we'll just we can just keep the stream going up here. No problem there.
Perfect. We'll
just
do that then.
Just keep
it
the
rolling.
stream. Yeah, and so we'll have that on there. If no other warnings, get issued or anything, it'll still just be on there during the newscast. Maybe we even switch on the newscast as part of the feed there. For some of the severe weather, some of the weather coverage.
I'll let you handle that.
Yeah.
I'll take care of the newscast.
Sounds good. So we're going to jump on the news here. So I'm just going to take a little break here, and then we will be back here very shortly with more on the storms as they move across. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for stopping by here, and we're going to have more in the next couple of minutes.
Evening, we're looking Matt Toon and keeping an eye on the sky as some strong storms continue to form into the region. Lots of activity out there. Storms starting to build as the warm front is in the neighborhood. There was an earlier tornado warning for Macon County that has expired. We look elsewhere across the region. Fayette County has a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. We'll be watching that very closely, especially downstream for Effingham and Cumberland counties into the region. You can see that warning there generally along the Interstate 70 corridor. As we move ahead here, we'll talk more about the warnings into the area, have a look at your full forecast, and keep you updated on the threat for severe storms. Plus, look at cooler fall air. I'll have those details coming up. SWCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
Road rage turns violent. How a conflict turned into chaos and commotion startling shoppers in Champaign this afternoon. Plus, a political fight breaks out across state lines over executive power.
Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
The entire team continues to be here, bringing you severe weather coverage as needed. Right now, things a little quieter, but showers and storms are starting to develop across the area, bringing heavy rain, frequent lightning, and even at times seeing a little bit of severe weather. Let's zoom in on Champaign County. We've got some showers and storms here now from northeast to southwest across the county through parts of Piatt County. A lot of lightning and thunder with them, especially just to the north of town towards Leverett, up towards Rantoul, even west towards Whiteheath and Seymour. More of these showers and storms then through southern Macon County, northeastern Christian County, parts of Piatt and Moultrie County continue to be in place. We have one warning in the area. That's it so far here. It's going to be for Fayette County, just outside of our viewing area. That's going to be a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. This will be a heads up downstream on the Interstate 70 corridor, which may end up having the greatest chance for some severe weather over the next couple of hours. Let's go ahead and bring the graphics full here. We'll show you some of the damage across the area. This was in Jacksonville, South Jacksonville, in fact. We got that in from a viewer who shared that with us. You can see some of that damage, and there you go. Some trees down and some damage to some buildings there. We'll see whether it was from a tornado or if it was from straight-line winds. The National Weather Service will have their hands full, not only here, but even well off to the south. Some wind damage reported, of course, near Mowequa. We had that on the storm tracker moments ago. North side of Springfield near Sherman, Jacksonville, and some wind damage even in parts of McLean County. And that's been it so far. We've had some reports of possible tornadoes. The National Weather Service will confirm those in the coming days. Tornado watch continues until 1 a.m. We've cut it back for Menard, Cass, and Morgan County, and we'll keep you updated here. We think that's when about the threat ends. To the north of it, the flash flood watch continues. Some reports of some minor flooding in places continue to come in. We've had a band of 2 to 4 inches north of Interstate 72-74. You can see with future track here, carrying that rain by midnight 1 a.m. Notice down here, Effingham towards Casey, south of Paris, near Mattoon, Charleston. Those storms I think we'll have to watch the most here, but it quickly exits the state and we'll have a quiet but still breezy and wet night here in central Illinois. As we go into tonight then, once the storms are done, temperatures drop upper 40s and low 50s. Winds will begin to turn out of the west. They will be breezy for us on our Monday. Also, upper 40s, low 50s for lows, low to middle 50s for highs. A breezy, cool day in central Illinois. Those west winds of 15 to 35 miles an hour. You can see here the area of low pressure very near overhead here, and that's going to allow for some breezy wind gusts of 30 to perhaps 40 miles an hour tomorrow. By the time Tuesday rolls around, winds are relaxing. Should be a nice and sunny day. Here's that system as it exits here. We move on in. The next chance of rain will come for us on Thursday. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast tonight. Upper 40s and low 50s. Once the storms end, I think a lot of us will be getting some sleep out there. We'll enjoy overall some quiet weather by Monday and Tuesday. Still some showers, and it will be windy Monday. That's the only caveat. Tuesday, I think it'll be a good day to relax a little bit. We'll watch for some showers by Wednesday night. They should be out of here just in time for the weekend.
Well, Jacob, thanks so much. And obviously, for everyone, stay safe while these horrible storms go through.
That's right. And we'll have more updates on digital platforms and as needed on TV.
We'll be watching.
All right, when we come back, we have a time-saving tip for you.
Coming up, why you might be able to skip your workout if you'd like to watch a horror movie instead. We'll explain next.
Hey everyone, just wanted to check in real quick and give you an update here as we're watching some things and we're going to wrap this up. It really seems like overall the severe threat is waning in central Illinois. And we'll kind of talk about it real quick and before we wrap coverage up, which we think will be for the night here. So I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey. Kevin and Jack are in the back kind of watching things. And so we're just cutting in real quick to kind of monitor real quick a little last update for you. We still do have the tornado watch in place for areas in a bit, and I'll show you that map in a second here. We really think with all of this rain that's in place along and east of 57, Interstate 57 that is, that rain is really helping to stabilize the atmosphere. Yeah, there's a few more storms trying to form in Christian, Macon County. We'll watch, but overall I'm not too optimistic on things here for a little bit longer. So we're just kind of watching behind scenes. That warning that was down in Effingham County has been expired. It's no longer an issue, and so we're not really worried about that little storm. I mean, you'll see here how that really weakened, and there's still a little bit of a twist in there, so we'll keep an eye on it, but I'm really fairly optimistic here. Are some heavier rain and some storms here from the Champaign-Vermilion County line. That'd be up by Penfield, Armstrong, Potomac, Ogden, Oakwood, and then down towards Allerton, Broadlands, and Seidel, perhaps west of there. That line moving to the east. There's some wind gusts mixing down. It's not severe. Don't expect it to be severe at this point. We'll continue to monitor it and keep you updated on that. Looking at these trying to pop up over Macon County, really thinking that they've been worked over there by earlier storms, so I really don't expect them to be severe. And as they lift more to the north too, they'll lift north of the warm front. That warm front really sitting somewhere in here. In fact, it was for a while sitting right over the city of Decatur. And so that's pretty much wrapping things up for us here. I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to pull up some currents and take a look at some data with y'all. And I may have to switch over real quick to workspace, so bear with me as I do that. We'll kind of look at where the warm front is and wrap things up. And I really think tonight, though, we're on the downward slide. So that's some good news for us here through the evening hours as we watch this radar from an active day. The worst of the weather has been to the south. It really has been. Southeast Missouri and southwest Illinois. Chester hit by a strong to violent tornado. Chester, Illinois, that hits St. Mary, Missouri. That's south of Kaskaskia there. Been a really bad night in southern Illinois, and I'm afraid of what will come by morning with all of the search and rescue that's going on in those areas. So we really got fairly lucky here in central Illinois, especially as we load the radar and get things back here. No alerts. Really think Ford, Iroquois County, it's a rain event. There is some thunder and lightning. Vermilion County, yeah, there's that line moving in, but I really don't think we're going to get anything out of it. It seems like the rain has helped push the front to the south a little bit also into the area. So we're going to watch and keep an eye on that here. Let's pull up the current temperatures. This will, I think, help illustrate what's happening. You really see here, Danville at 53, Watsika 48, Pontiac at 48. That's some very stable air in place here. Temperatures have come down to the south here. 65 in Effingham, 65 in Mattoon, 64 in Paris. That's still up a little bit, but it's down a whole lot more, and it's not quite as unstable as was earlier. Dew points will also help tell the story here. They're starting to come down. That rain is helping to stabilize the atmosphere overall, and so we really think that once this line is out, we're officially all clear. We'll be all clear for a lot of folks. Still some technicalities in place here. The flash flood watch continues for areas in green. That goes through tomorrow morning. We'll still see some showers here on the northern side, but once this batch gets out, I think the worst of the rain is done. And then we also have the tornado watch still in effect here. And I'll pull that one up for you real quick. And we'll take a peek at it. That's that flash flood watch. Here's the tornado watch. You know, we're trimming some counties down. So Christian County, all clear. Probably even going to be all clear, I would say. Macon, Shelby, Montgomery, Macoupin. That's not our job, though, to clear these. It's the National Weather Service's job, and so we'll watch it here. But really, we're seeing that threat diminish pretty quickly with eastward extent, and so likely more counties will be trimmed. It goes officially until 1 a.m. It's 11:34 now, so maybe there's a very small window, but that's it. The threat compared to earlier down quite considerably here into the region, so that's what we'll continue to watch for just a little while longer. Let me pull up some rainfall totals while we're at it here. And I don't know if you see this zooming in and zooming out. The chief is behind the camera now, having a little fun here. Some of these rainfall totals that are coming on in here, we've got that 7 to 8 inch report out of Jacksonville. That's this morning's round. That's That's this morning's round right there in Jacksonville. And then that band of 2 to 4 inches with locally higher amounts has been placed pretty well north of Interstate 72. I know in Gibson City there's been some flooding. We've also just saw in the chat a basement flooded in Gifford. Looks like they're in the northeastern part of the county towards Gifford. There may be a localized maximum, probably closer to 5-6 inches in there. And I'll clear some of this out and we'll zoom on in here and just kind of query it while we've got some time. Again, these are radar estimated. They're close, they're not exact. We'll get the CoCoRaHS data in the morning for 24-hour and 48-hour reports. It looks like there's a 5.3 inch report near Gibson City. There's a 4.7 Bloomington area, a little spot there with 4.5. So forecast verifying very well north of the warm front where the heaviest rain has fallen. And then the Jacksonville area had a couple of flash flood warnings. On US 67 northwest of Jacksonville, there's a spot of 7.2. 6.8, 6.7, maybe I'm clicking in the wrong place. There's a 7.7. So they've definitely gotten some rain over there for sure. Other than that, Kevin's kind of standing by. Jacksonville, probably one of the harder hit areas. This is a look at a church in the south side of Jacksonville with some damage there. They've had some tree damage in South Jacksonville. It's been on Vandalia where we've seen that. And please tell me that's...
Severe thunderstorm warning expiration.
Expiring? That might have been LSX chat, if that's not pulled up. Is that what that is? Okay, so they're canceling that. Okay, so we're getting some more cancellations of the tornado watch. I'll bounce back on that in a second here. Jack's rolling back in after a day in the storm tracker here. So this is that tornado watch. Look, we just trimmed a bunch more counties here. And I would suggest that probably Macon, Piatt, Moultrie, Shelby, probably done too. Champaign County, Vermilion County, pretty much done. Probably these counties even south. We're really thinking we're done here. We're just babysitting to be extra sure for things for the next little bit. So that's what we have. We are going to wrap this up. We'll do one last check at radar real quick. There are no warnings. There's just the tornado watch in place. And I think Kevin's going to pull it out so we can show the mess of the Weather Center and Jack in here. Hey. Look at that handsome guy. So Jack's been in the storm tracker and saw some power flashes near Taylorville. There was a shed that was destroyed southwest of Taylorville, and so we've been happy to have him around. So I'm going to just pull this, Jack.
Here, I can use that, or can I use that one?
I think the co-anchor one isn't working on the switcher. We're just running the switcher. Like,
Here, this
oh, you know, I'll come this way. All right. Now I'm going to have to go back. You're going to see the fun of it here. Kevin's running camera. We're... What's that wrapped in? Hold on.
Kind of.
There we go. Yeah, okay. So you can just kind of tell us a little bit, Jack, about some of the things you saw.
Yeah, I mean, I can hold it. This is good.
Sure. I don't have a mic now, so.
I would say, though, that this was these are pretty tough chasing conditions in terms of going after the storms. Really was, I'm still unzipped. I forgot about that.
We've been cracking up about that a little bit. Okay. So
but everything was moving just so fast. Most of your warnings that you were giving, guys, were like 50, 55 mile an hour? Yeah, so they were just moving just almost too fast. And so I got over to Jacksonville and then had some audio issues with my microphone, and pretty much like that 15-minute extra time that I was there almost set me behind the entire rest of the night. I was essentially playing catch up. But we got those Piatt, Moultrie, Shelby counties out of the tornado watch now.
Macon too, so.
And Macon too, so. Yeah,
you kind of.
Yeah, oh yeah, because I'm just hearing it all the time in my ear. Yeah, it was definitely a little hard out there to see it. Plus, too, that with our sunsets occurring so early now in the evenings, structure-wise, it actually looked to be the best, technically just outside of our viewing area. Our intern Max had some really good pictures that he sent in, and I heard you guys kind of sharing those. Yeah, we're just kind of wrapping up here with our storm system. It really just was always that warm front there. For me, though, from what it kind of seemed like, from my vantage point, it almost kind of seemed like they would get strong on the warm front, and then they'd keep on moving to the northeast off the warm front, and then after that, then they were not in the favorable conditions anymore to keep it going. So hopefully that's what you saw too, because that's kind of what I was seeing with my stuff from my end. But
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we were talking about that. We were talking about, too, is the
Yeah.
storms in southern Illinois, southeast Missouri.
oh yeah,
Some of the big-time storms that were there. I think those, in a way, kind of helped to steal some of the moisture and some of the instability that was flowing northward along the warm front, too.
I saw that there were warnings down there. Were they confirmed down there?
Yeah, there was a tornado emergency for Chester, and there were multiple. I mean, Kevin can attest to this too. I mean, there were multiple large, extremely dangerous tornadoes down there with lots of damage.
CC dropout on
Oh my goodness.
huge debris.
Because I mean, obviously I can't really look at too much stuff while,
Yeah,
I'm driving around.
Yeah.
So
Driving and fixing the equipment.
yeah, luckily I wasn't doing that at the same time. But I will definitely say though today that it was really surprising how heavy those downpours were. There was a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, and just it seemed like as soon as it started to rain, and then it would just rain. That one really fast tornado warning that popped up for Taylorville. I can hold this. Sure. That one really fast warning that popped up for Taylorville. I pretty much went from having it be clear to having to be flashers on 15, 20 miles an hour, like in the span of 1,000 feet. I mean, it came down hard. I'll be very curious to see what some of these rainfall totals are when we're done.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to have some in the 7 to 8 inch range.
Oh, for sure.
Morgan County from this morning to this evening. One thing I do want to mention too, there was a question or a comment I saw online, and we're really wide now. So you can look at Jack's shoes. Look good shoes there. And there's the umbrella that Amelia left. If you saw Kevin's Twitter, you know about that too. One thing to mention is while the severe threat is waning very quickly and essentially over, there will still be more rain, still more storms that develop here. You're seeing some of them develop just a little bit right here trailing on in. We're not going to add a whole lot more, just a little bit here for the next couple hours. We are definitely well over the hill in getting those storms out. I saw that question about, what about the more rain and more storms coming? Is that a thing? We'll have some spot showers too. Tomorrow, the interesting thing, Jack, is how windy it's going to be.
Yeah.
The winds in the backside here is that area of low pressure. It's passing by right through here. So we'll have some tight gradient winds, some gusts of 35, 45. Might be something to look at.
And also, too, speaking of gradient, that temperature gradient today was out of control. I had our little storm tracker Jeep. I turned off the odometer, and I had the thermometer on there, and I would go for most of my drive over from the station here in Champaign over to Jacksonville. We were in the upper 50s, and then by the time I got to Decatur, it started to warm up a bit more. By the time I got to Jacksonville, it was already in the low 70s. And eventually, when I was leaving Jacksonville, right before those storms came on through, it got into the middle 70s. I saw my thermometer. And then pretty much between Springfield and Decatur on 72 there, it was about 68, 69. And then if you were to stay on 72 a little bit farther on the north side of town, it dropped like a full 10 degrees. Nice. So, I mean, it was...
Did your windows fog up?
No, but I could definitely tell that I didn't adjust the temperature, but you could tell all of a sudden that the car would get either really warm or really cool depending on which way I was going. So Decatur seemed to be, it was like right there, that front was right there on that line.
It was, and it was just south of Monticello and about 10, 15 miles south of Champaign-Urbana.
Yeah.
And some of that rain that came in earlier, helped push that front, or I guess keep it from going too much further north, which was good, because the further north we went, the more the severe threat would have been. A little further south eliminated the severe weather up north, but we still did get some winds that mixed down north of the warm front. We still did get plenty of heavy rain up there. So, at this point, things are really looking a lot better, much more tame out there. So, Kevin, do you want to come over and say anything last bit, or are you just having fun on camera there?
I'll be a camera guy.
I think we're going to get Jack's going to get a little revenge now for some camera movement there. So
Well, I won't.
we still have almost 500 people online now, so folks are still interested in the weather.
Yeah.
But they're getting a little fun too here. Why not? It's 11:45. We can do what we want, right?
But yeah, it's 11:45. We don't have any warnings. In fact, storms are exiting. I've already unbuttoned the top button and loosened the tie, and the jacket is gone. So yeah, things kind of wrap it up here. But things could have been a lot worse, obviously. They were definitely worse to our south. I think the light of day is going to show a lot of damage. You're going to hear a lot about kind of southeastern Missouri and far southwest Illinois. I mean, multiple tornadoes down there, big tornadoes that went through some city centers. St. Mary, I believe it's a fairly small city, but I think Frederickstown. You can see. Those are all those. So there's the St. Mary one into Chester. What's really amazing here with this is, if you were down here, let's say you were actually down there, you would have seen that tornado hit St. Mary, cross over the Mississippi River, probably as an EF2 or 3 tornado. This thing, turning into a water spout, probably with debris still in there. That would have just been a sight there. But you can see St. Mary reports a lot of tree damage. That thing went right over, then crossed into Illinois, which is where Chester is there. So you had St. Mary, there's the Mississippi right there. Big kinks there in the state line there where the river is at. But you can see all of these that go back into Missouri. Several tornado reports there. There's the Fredericktown one as well. So things, still a fairly good forecasted event. This was kind of the area of highest concern. We just didn't see as many tornadoes as far north as we thought we might along the warm front. But nevertheless, severe weather in the fall, the late kind of fall severe weather surge, as we sometimes get. But here locally, it looks like there's the Taylorville, there's the Jack Moequa tree in the road report.
Did it go onto the?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, well, actually, go ahead and query the that report there, because we like it even better because the Weather Service takes it and they put WCIA storm tracker reported tree and roadway. So you gotta like that. There's Jack's report to Moequa as we were taking him live, and then we kind of lost his signal, and we come back to him. He's like, "Dude, I just had to drive around a tree in the road." So yeah. So we had that. Some of the reports up there near Bloomington. There's one near Sherman, Sangamon County. We had some trees reported down there. So kind of sporadic hit and miss stuff, but I have a feeling that there could be even more in some areas that people, again, the sun set at, 6 o'clock, it's dark, and some people will be like, I'm not going outside. And they're going to go outside tomorrow, and they're going to see more possible damage. So yeah, I would say that, things are winding down here, and hopefully shouldn't have to worry about too much except for that flooding. We think that flooding still is an issue out there with all the rain.
Yeah, and Jack wanted to see some of those rainfall totals again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, look at
Oh my goodness.
look at Jacksonville. Look over there.
Yeah, and it was clearing some areas of 3 to 5 in that narrow strip. There's been some flooding in Gibson City again.
Gibson City.
Not nearly as bad, but we're really getting a lot better of a picture now of looks a lot better. We're gonna even go home here shortly.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, that's gonna wrap it up for me.
Stop on in, Jack.
I'm heading home. I'm gonna go wake up my 4-month-old.
There you go. I don't have to.
You don't have to worry about that.
So, and Amelia left because she's gonna be coming here soon. So I'm gonna stick around for a couple more hours
Yeah.
just to watch.
Yeah,
You see
he's
Jack
gonna
walking on the right side there. He's lifting it out.
he's gonna
Come on in. So
Jacob will babysit the storms for us.
I will. I'm
And
really not too concerned at this point. I think it's rain. We'll watch. There's some good lightning and thunder now north of Monticello, but those storms are north of the boundary, and we'll be here just for a little while longer and be wrapping things up on our digital platforms for now. If needed, we'll send more updates, but I really think at this point, I'm probably going to put on Netflix and watch something.
There you go. Good deal. Well, thanks to all the thousands of people that tuned into the live stream here today. We had
Thanks for trusting us, too.
Yeah, exactly. So it was we knew it was going to be a rough one to cut in a little bit to the Bears game there, but didn't miss anything.
It was a blowout.
Didn't miss
There were
anything
more
there.
touchdowns by tornadoes than the Bears offense.
This is a valid point.
Yeah. 3 points.
3 points. There you go. All right. Well, I'm out. I'm outie. You good?
See y'all later.
See you guys.